There are two kinds of people in this world. Those that like Mickey and those that like Donald. And depending on who you are, well, that really defines a lot of your tastes. Do you like the reserved family man type, or are you more the quirky, hyperactive type? So this is a request that I had for this particular puzzle. This is a Mickey challenge ball. So I had a request for this. It's actually a really neat kind of a puzzle and a pretty good challenge. It's circulating around the internet. You got Mickey Mouse on the one side, Donald Duck on the other side, and the rest is kind of empty spaces. So what exactly is this? What kind of a puzzle is this? Well, when looking at it, it's got this clicky mechanism here. Oh, I just beheaded Mickey. But anyway, this is a skewb. So if you know how to solve a skewb, then you're well on your way to solving this. The issue with this one is that you've got a lot of pieces that are exactly like each other, which means that although there is one particular configuration to solve it, you can potentially get false equivocations by accidentally swapping some pieces. So in order to solve this puzzle, if you really want to know, you have to know how to solve a skewb. So that is a mandatory requirement to solve this. Otherwise it can be very confusing, and you also have to understand the strategy of solving this and how it's going to translate to this guy over here. So what I would do first is sort of ask ourselves what truly is the solved state, because is it this? Is it this? Is it this? I think it's supposed to be this, where Mickey and Donald are opposite each other. What we also have to look at in terms of the organization of the pieces is you see that there's only two types of pieces on a skewb. There's a center and then there's corners. And the technique that I use to solve this is I put in one side and then I start filling in the centers and then I solve the corners. So I'm going to do the same thing here. So I have to kind of decide or define what's what. So what are the actual centers? Well, the centers are going to be these large pieces, and the corners here are going to be these small pieces. So if I look at it, if I look at the organization, if I put one thumb on Mickey's head, then the opposite side is going to be on Donald's pants. If I put a thumb on Donald's head, the opposite side is going to be Mickey's pants. So basically, that's going to define what's going to be my top or the bottom. Also, notice that Donald's head is facing down while I have Mickey's head facing up over here. That's going to help guide the solve. So if you really want to solve this efficiently, that's what you've got to keep in mind, because I'm going to put in a side and then another side. So I'm going to do, this is a fast enough solve to where I can do a parallel solve between this and this in order to explain what it is. But the techniques, the algorithms are really the same. As a matter of fact, there really isn't much of an algorithm, just a down, down, up, up. So bear something in mind when you do down, down, up, up. If I take this, I can swap these two. When I swap these two, you're also going to swap these two. If I go down, down, up, up, you can see these two swapped and these two also swapped. You also caused turning of these corners over here. But I'm going to go ahead and just continue the scramble here, because I'm going to correlate these with that. Okay, so that's a pretty good scramble. So now we're going to throw caution to the wind and scramble this guy. So, beheading disarticulating Mickey. So, very smooth looking puzzle. Definitely worthwhile getting. It's a good challenge. If you like the simplicity of a skewb, but you wanted a little bit extra with that. Now you can also get super skewbs. They exist, like this guy over here. This is a super skewb in that when you rotate the top here, when you rotate the center, it doesn't mean anything. But if you rotate these guys, it does. It's going to put the shape out of sorts. Okay, pretty good scramble, pretty good scramble. Okay, so here's how you do it. First thing that we have to do is we have to solve a side. A side is going to consist of these large pieces with the corners surrounding it. So to here, a large center with the corners surrounding it. So that's what you have to do. In this case, I'm going to use Mickey's head as my center, and then I'm going to put the corners surrounding it. So that's going to be my first side. Now understand that the way this moves is it moves with a corner in the center. So if you put a corner in the center, that's how it's going to move, dragging these corners with it. So the way that you would do it first is I'm going to pick a center which is going to be green, and I'm going to put in the corners with it. So here's a green corner. I'm just going to move it up. You can see it's not rotated right, so I take it away from the center, and then I take the corner, because this is the axis of rotation, turn it, and pop it in. So you can see that's in there. The next one is going to be the green and white. So that'll be this guy here, and then just move it in. You can see that moves right in. The next one is going to be green and orange. Now that just moved in, but what if it didn't? So if I move it in and it needs to be rotated, what I do is I take it away, then I take this axis here, I rotate it, see if it comes in. If not, I keep rotating it until it comes in. Then I put the other green one in, which is this guy. Let me just make it a little more challenging. Okay, so this green and red, rather green and yellow, comes here. You can see when I put it in, it's not rotated correctly. So what I do is I just take it out of the way, and then I do a rotation, bring it in, and then bring this back. So in that way, I've solved the first side. So I've done that. So I'm going to have you do that same thing with this. In this case, the center is going to be Mickey. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find Mickey's arms, and I'm going to place the corners where they're supposed to be here. So this arm belongs to Mickey. There's his bow tie, very dapper character. So I'm going to take this here, and I'm going to move it in where it's supposed to be, bang, right over there. His other arm is here, so I move it in. You can see it's not rotated correctly. Actually, so this is the center. Yeah, so it's going to go in here. So you can see it's not rotated correctly. So we're going to do the same technique, which means we move it out. Or you can move it out from here. Then you just rotate it. So I'm going to rotate it just like that, and then move it in. Now you see that it's in there. So basically, you have these two. Now what we have to do is we have to get the other corners, which are these two. Now these two, which is just above Mickey's head, are going to have no actual pictures in it. So this one is blank, so that one can stay. Now we don't know if it's rotated or not. It doesn't really matter, but let's find a blank corner. There's one over here, and kersplat. So believe it or not, this is like this. This is our first side. Forget about what's happening here. We're going to get that in a second. But this is the center with Mickey's head. You've got both of Mickey's arms in, and just above that, just above Mickey's head, these two corners are blank sets. Now, something that I want you to notice before I move on. When I put these corners in, the next thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be turning this upside down and getting the rest. But I want you to notice something. All of these corners are automatically where they're supposed to be. This is where this is supposed to be. They're just not rotated right. So this one is actually where it's supposed to be. You can imagine this blue will come up here, this orange will come here. So that's correct. This blue should be up here. This white will match with this white. You've got this red. This blue will come up here, and this red is here. So if you do it correctly, all these corners are properly placed. So it's a very specific place that they have to go. So too, if you take a look at this, since this is the center, then if I were to turn it upside down to here, this is going to be the center on the top. All these corners should be where they're supposed to be. How do I know if they are where they're supposed to be? So the way that you know is that just above these corners, here's the center here, they're supposed to contain Donald's arms. Both of these are supposed to have Donald's arms on it. I see that this has one of Donald's arms, this one does not. What that basically means is that one of these two is wrong. That I could have put this in here, but instead I have this. In order to know that this is right, so again, here's Mickey's head, here's these corners which belong to this center. The corners just above that here have to contain both of Donald's arms. If not, you're going to run into trouble with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this with this over here, kersplat. So it's really the same configuration. I look up here, and this is one of Donald's arms, and this is one of Donald's arms. If you see that, now you can move on. So just be sure that that's what you see. So the rest of the skewb, now that I got the first side, is I'm going to turn it upside down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the centers where they're supposed to be. So the center on top, I see this is over here, this belongs over here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to go down, down, up, up. So this is in place. What I then do is I then put the center in that goes just behind this. In this case, you can see it's orange, and that's over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, move this to the top, and then move it down. Now bear in mind, when I down, down, up, up this, when I move this to the top, these two are also going to swap. So I expect this to end up over here. But that's okay, because once this is here, I'm then going to swap this, with what will be the red, and then put the red one back. So let's take this and put it up here. Down, down, up, up. So as predicted, the red did swap over here, but that's okay. I'm now going to take this orange and bring it down here. Down, down, up, up. And now this red is going to come to here. When I down, down, up, up this, these two are going to swap, but this will stay where it's at. So we have down, down, up, up. So I've got this in, I've got this in, then I just coordinate these guys. Now you notice that they're already in, but if they weren't, if they were say in, I don't know, this position, so if they were in this position, I would see that this yellow has to come here, this white has to come here, and this blue has to come here. There is no parity with this puzzle, so you won't have a situation where you just have to swap two, because if you did, you destroy these guys. So you're always going to have you're always going to have a 3 cycle basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, move them down where it's supposed to be, down, down, up, up. Now I'm going to take these two and swap this. Notice these guys also swapped. We're about to swap them back. You'll never have a situation where everything is in except 2. And down, down, up, up. Okay, that'll get all of our centers in, and we just have the corners to go. So let's go back to this puzzle over here. So we have Mickey's arms in, we have an empty set here, we also see that both of Donald's arms are here as well. I'm going to put a thumb here on Mickey's head, and I'm going to go to the opposite one over here, and I'm going to put Mickey's pants on. It's pretty embarrassing, doesn't have his pants on. So that means this has to end up here, where Mickey's head is. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take this and move it to the top, like I did with this, and then I'm going to swap it down to here. So take Mickey's pants, and put Mickey's pants on the top. Down, down, up, up. Okay, so Mickey's pants is on the top. I can turn it around and put Mickey's pants on right over here. Down, down, up, up. So now we have a fully formed Mickey. Now we just got to put in Donald. So the next step, remember Donald's head is in the center. That's going to belong right here. So the one that's right behind Mickey's pants is Donald's head. So Donald is going to end up over here. So I'm simply going to take the Donald which is on the top and swap it down to here. Now I want to swap it in the direction where his head is upside down. So it's going to go down, down, up, up. Okay, so this is in and this is in. Now if Donald's head was over here, I'd have to put Donald's head on the top. That will swap Mickey's pants to here, but that's okay, just like we saw with this. You simply take Donald's head, swap him with Mickey's pants, then put Mickey's pants on over here. Alright, so now that you've done that, we have to put these guys in. So Mickey's pants belongs up here, and Mickey's arm belongs here. Now, herein lies something of a problem, I think, because we have to swap these two. But if I swap these two and I put Donald's pants on over here, I'm going to swap Donald's head and Mickey's pants over here. So how can I swap these two when these two are going to be out of place? And the answer is this: you need to make sure that when you swap this here, Donald's head is over here and Mickey's pants is here, because by swapping him, you'll swap him back. But if I put them up, we're going to go down, down, up, up. Donald's pants is here, but Donald's head is over here, and Mickey's pants is right by Donald's pants. That makes no sense at all. So let's bring it back down. Up, up. So because of that, what you need to do is, before you put Donald's pants up here, you have this empty center and this empty center. If I swap these two empty centers with each other, because they're equivalent, you had false equivocation, you assumed that this was supposed to be here. By swapping these two, that will put Mickey's pants over here and Donald's head over here, so that then I can swap this back and put everything back. Now notice this is upside down. I can just down, down, up, up that again to put that right side up. So let's go ahead and swap these two empty sets here. Down, down, up, up. Okay, that puts Donald's head here, Mickey's pants here. Now I can put Donald's pants up here, and these two will swap back. So we have down, down, up, up. Having done that, here's Donald's head, and here's Mickey's pants. So this has a little bit more of a challenge in that you've got this false equivocation. Now, what I can do is I want to put Mickey's pants on right. It's upside down, hard for him to walk around that way. So to do that, you simply swap it and swap it back again. So we go down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up. Alright, so Mickey's pants is back. And now we have this situation. We like this. You can see Donald's pants is here. Donald's hands are here. But Donald's head is upside down. Now, this is a super skewb, which means that the rotation has meaning when it didn't have meaning over here. But this appears to be an impossibility, and this is going to run you into trouble. It's going to run you into trouble because how can you flip this and not flip this? If I go down, down, up, up, Mickey's head will flip, but Mickey's pants will also flip. So let's see what happens when we try that. Down, down, up, up, and then again, up, up. So Donald's head flipped, but so did his pants. So we have what appears to be an impossible situation. When that happens, to get out of this, in order to rotate this around, I gotta rotate something other than Donald's pants. So the way that we're going to do this is we have to unfortunately reconfigure things. So now you could try to move this up and swap these two, but you're going to have this swapping back and forth as well. So we're going to have a problem with swaps. But here's what you're going to do. You've got to swap Donald's head with Mickey's head. So go ahead and do that. Down, down, up, up. So now you see Donald's head is here, Mickey's head is here, and now we have to recalibrate. We have to put Mickey back into where he was before. So I'm going to take Mickey's hand, Mickey's arm, and just move him down there. So that's fine. Now I got to take Mickey's other arm and put him over here. Now you can see when I move it in, it's rotated wrong. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this, and then I'm going to rotate and bring it in. So with that recalibration, that should be okay. Now I just kind of pick it back up again. Got to put Mickey's pants back on. It's up here, so we go down, down, up, up. So Mickey's pants is okay. Let's get Donald's head where it needs to be, which is over here. Now the problem is these are wrong, so we have to put these back into place. Now remember, both of Donald's hands have to be here. So I'm going to take this this empty set here and put this one over here, which puts Donald's hands here. And now I need to find another empty set. It can't be this because this one is empty. That has to have Donald's hands. So I'm going to move, maybe say, this one in. So now I see both of Donald's hands are here. These are empty sets above Mickey's head. So now we're okay. So we pick it up where we left off there. This is his pants. This is Donald's head. What belongs up here is Donald's pants. So I can't just swap that up there because I'm going to swap these two. So once again, I swap these two empty sets here. Down, down, up, up. These are swapped. I come back to here. And now what I can do is I can put Donald's pants up to here, which will take Mickey's pants, put it here, and Donald's head back to here. Down, down, up, up. Okay, now we take a look. Now we see that Donald's head is correct. No, actually Donald's head is upside down, and Donald's pants is upside down. That's okay, because by doing down, down, up, up twice, it will rotate both. So now we have both rotated correctly. So then we just go down, down, up, up, and again, down, down, up, up. And now we see that Donald's pants is back on, along with Mickey's pants. So now they're all dressed up. So the last step is to put in the corners. The corners on the bottom with this as the center are all fine. We kind of made sure of that based on where their hands are supposed to be. So the center here is Donald's pants. And these are the edges that have to be put in. Now you can see this is rotated correctly, this is rotated wrong. So where the center is, just like Mickey's head is on the center on the bottom, Donald's pants is on the center at the top. Now we've got to rotate these corners so that they can come into where they're supposed to be. The way that that's done here is we look to see what has to rotate, and you can see that none of them are in. What I can do is I can rotate both of these clockwise or counterclockwise at the same time. In this case, if I rotate this clockwise and this clockwise, everything will be solved. Now sometimes you get a situation I'm going to actually do a situation like this. Okay, a situation where you've got two rotated correctly and two rotated non-correctly. What I have to do is I have to get it in a situation where none of them are rotated correctly. because that way all of them have to be rotated in at the same time. I can't rotate this counterclockwise because then this will be in and this will be out. I've got to rotate it clockwise, both of them, because then they'll both still be out. These will follow the same pattern. If I wanted to rotate this clockwise, then I can either rotate this counterclockwise or clockwise. Rotate it and rotate this in the opposite direction of where you want this to be. So I want to do a clockwise rotation of this and this. So that means I'm going to start off with a counterclockwise rotation like this and go down, down, up, up, down, up, up. So that's what happened. This rotated clockwise, this rotated clockwise, so all of these are out. So in this case, I want to do a clockwise rotation to get this in and a clockwise rotation to get this in. So because I want them both to go clockwise, I'm going to do a counterclockwise rotation to make that happen. So it's the opposite. Down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up, and it's in. So this is the same situation. I have one in. I've got to get that out in coordination with this. So if I rotate this clockwise, this is going to be in and this is going to be out. So what I need to do, let's put these by each other. Actually, I would want to rotate this, clockwise to get this in, and this would be out. So I want to go counterclockwise to get this out and this out. So in this case, I'm going to start off with going in the same direction, and I'm going to do a counterclockwise rotation like this, doing down, down, up, up. Now the reason why I'm doing that is this is a super skewb. If I do it once, everything's going to be upside down. If I do it 4 times, it's going to be right side up again. So I do it 4 times instead of twice. And what that'll do is I'm going to move this in the same direction that I want these to rotate. In this case, I want it to rotate counterclockwise. So counterclockwise, and I do it 4 times. Down, down, up, up. That's 1. Down, down, up, up. That's 2. Down, down, up, up. That's 3. Down, down, up, up. That's 4. So notice these came back and these are both out. Now I have to move it like this so that I'm actually going to coordinate this corner with this corner, because this can rotate any direction, but these are out of sync. If I move it like this, it'll be in sync. Now in order to get this back, I'm going to have to rotate this clockwise. This will also rotate clockwise, but it doesn't matter, and these will naturally follow suit. So a clockwise rotation is needed, so I'm going to do a clockwise rotation swapping these two back and forth. So do it 4 times. Down, down, up, up. That's 1. Down, down, up, up. That's 2. Down, down, up, up. That's 3. And down, down, up, up. That's 4. And magically Donald is assembled, Mickey is assembled, and the puzzle is solved. So there you have it. That's how you solve it. Basically, you're using the techniques of a super skewb, which is a modification of a skewb. This is more than just a super skewb though, because unlike any of these types of skewbs, you have false equivocation, and that's what's going to run you into trouble. Just remember, every time you do down, down, up, up once, unlike this puzzle, rotations of the center don't mean anything. Rotations of these centers do mean something, so you got to do it 4 times. So hopefully that helped. If you have any particular further questions with this, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching.